Hello and happy Friday, mathematicians. Today we're going to look at a couple problems on our Unit 5 study guide. As you know, you have a test coming up, so we want to make sure that you are ready to go. So if you could have your Unit 5 study guide handy, and we actually are going to take a look at two different kinds of problems. We are going to go all the way to our number 11. And we're going to just review here a little bit of our turns. Sometimes these turns can be tricky, especially when we see just something that looks like this. So if I look at number 11, it says draw pictures of these turns using an arc to show the direction of each one. The vertex of the angle and one side have already been drawn for you. So let's take a look at this first one where it says it's one turn, or our fourth turn counterclockwise. So how I would have to draw this is I'm going to think about the direction what counterclockwise means. Counterclockwise means it's going to the left. It's going opposite of our clockwise going to the right. So I'm going to, and I know that a fourth turn, remember if we had almost like a clock, imaginary circle, and I cut it into fourths, it would look like something like this. So if I need to go a fourth turn counterclockwise, I would end up right here. And I would need to draw my arrow there, and I have to put my arc to show which direction we are going. Okay. If I go here to my 3/4 turn clockwise, well, I'm starting here, like I'm pointing down to 6 o'clock, and I have to go clockwise. So I'm needing to go to the right. So I know, again, if I have my imaginary circle here, and I have it into my 4 parts, well, if I have my 3/4 of a turn, so I know I'd have to go at least here. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, it would end here. So what I would need to do is have my ending point over this way, and I cannot forget to draw my arc. So since we're going clockwise, we were going to the right, I have to draw my arc going all the way here and stopping right here. Okay. So let's take a look, moving forward, let's take a look to all the way to number 16, the last problem on our study guide. And these tricky multi-step word problems, we have to make sure that we are taking it step by step and really practicing writing our number models in one expression with parentheses. So let's see if we can practice this one. So number 16 says, 4 boys each want to buy a science kit and book. Together they have $95. If each kit costs $17 and each book is on sale for $5, how much money will the boys have left over after they purchase all of the items? Well, first, I always like to go back and highlight those key words and see what is it that I need to know? Well, 4 boys and they each want to buy a science kit and a book. And all together they have $95. I know each kit costs $17 and each book costs $5. And then all this keyword left over after they purchase all the items. So I know at some point, whenever I hear leftover, at some point I'm going to need to subtract in this word problem. But I think what I need to do first is think, all right, if they are each wanting a kit for $17 and they each want a book for $5 and there's 4 boys, probably going to need to do some multiplying. So if I was going to think, I would need to do 4 times 17. Okay. And my step 2, I would need to think about my 5 times my 4 so that I can figure out how much total money that they're going to be spending on this kit and the book. And looking at your multiplication, we know 7 times 4 is 28. And then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 gets me 68. And I know 5 times 4 is 20. So what I would need to do is I would need to add these two numbers up because we wanted to figure out their total that they're spending. And I know that 68 plus 20 gets me $88. But now I still haven't answered the question. It says, how much money will the boys have left over after they purchase these items? Well, I'm going to take my $95 because that's what I know that they had, and I'm going to subtract my 88. I have to make sure that I borrow, and then I have to make this a 15, and I know that 15 minus 88 gets me, 15 minus 8 gets me 7, because 8 minus 8 gets me 0. So they will have $7 left over. Now the tricky part is putting this into a number model with unknown. Let's think about what we did first. I'm going to leave a little space here. We first did our 17 times 4. And then we did our 5 times 4. And we had to add them all together. So that's why I put the plus sign in between there, because we did that right here in this step. Then I know at the end there, after we had to do something with that $95, we have to put our 95 up front here because we subtracted, even though it wasn't our first step. But if we were writing this as an equation, we know that we have to do the numbers in the parentheses first, and then what's outside of the parentheses based on our order of operations. So your number model would look something like this. You are going to see on Seesaw a place where you can take a picture of your work here of problems 11 and 15. All right, mathematicians, off you go.